So in this video, what we want to do now is this. We want to now learn how to we'll finish the application in this video likely. So we are going to make it in such a way that when we actually delete the effect is going to be felt here. So we want to switch to the JSON server. So I'll go to my documentation and npm JSON server, go to my browser rather, then I'll click on this. I think we've already installed this in the start, in the first part of the video, but if not, we are going to install this as npm install JSON server like this. Then after this we are going to install it globally. So two ways we are going to do that. So I can show you that in case you're starting with this video, which I guess you will not start. So drag this up and come to this first terminal. So you paste this like this, npm install JSON server. So after you finish doing that, then you're going to hit enter. Then when you finish installing, then all you need to add here is now -g, so I have to install it globally so that it will not show an error when you're trying to follow me along in this video. Okay, so that is for that. I think we've installed that. So if I check, just to be sure, if I check on my package.json, I'll see my JSON server added. Good. So now the first step we want to do when we want to use the JSON server is to create a data folder. So I'll come to this down part, create a folder that lives outside our sroc. So that will be data. Now I'll hit enter. Inside this data I need to create a file called db.json. Now by the way, the JSON means JSON JavaScript object notation. Now we want to add an object like this. Then in here, one of the rule of JSON is that both the keys and most values will be in what? In double quotes. So it uses double quotes strictly. So I'm going to put here as blogs. So this is a resource or the endpoint. Then this is going to be my array of objects. So I'm going to have id is equal to, so notice that's an error. So id then is equal to, so I'll change this to be 1. Then my title, I'll just use CSS tricks. Then the body, so let me get some lorem ipsum, so I will have to close this. I think we're not using this alert again, so let's close that. Then the details, so I'll just need to get some lorem ipsums here. So I'll come here and get my lorem. So I'm going to cut this out, Ctrl X, save that, come here, then add my double quote, paste that, Alt Z, so I have that. Then I have another one, author, so I have here Chile. So I have my ID, I have my title, I have my this, and this corresponds to what we see here in this format, so that by the time we switch now, we are not going to change anything. So I have my body, I have my ID, I have my title, I just added the author. Okay, so that is that. So I'm going to duplicate this now. So shift alt arrow down, 1 2 3, so let it just be 4. So this is the first one. I'll change this to 2, then I'll change this to HTML tricks. This is by Amadi White. Then this is 3. I'll change this to, let me use this one, React tricks, and this is by Amadi Purple. Just changing the values. 4. This is how to boil rice. So this is by Amadi Green. Okay, so I have all of this now. So notice the IntelliSense is found on this because it's expecting a next value which I'm not providing, so I have to remove that. So we have this basic data. So if I save this, how do we get this endpoint? So remember, if I go back to my JSON, I go back to my JSON. Let me not clear this console, let me use this one. I'll go back to my JSON placeholder. And this, if I click here now, then I go to these resources. If I click on this blog post where it show me the 100 posts, I need to get something like this. So how do we get something like this using our JSON server? So we need to start the server. So remember, this is hosted online, so once you visit this URL, you're going to get this, which is the endpoint. So how do we get this from our JSON server that lives within our computer only? So to do that, we need to go to the terminal again. So go to the terminal. So I'll drag this up, drag up my terminal. Then I think I should minimize this a little. Okay, so let me leave it like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear this terminal to see. So I'm going to clear this terminal. Then I'm going to type json-server. Remember, that is the name of the package which we install locally and globally. Now if you don't install this as -g, you will not be able to use this. Then you must install it as part of your React dependency. So you install it normally without -g. Then after that installation, you now install it with what? -g, just as I explained earlier. JSON server -. So let's close this. I'll have some room. JSON server -, watch. Then the path to our data, so dot and / data / db.json. So now I want it to open in port 8000. So 8000. Now why are we using this -? So that each time we make there's a change, it will immediately pick up that change. But if you don't use this -watch, it just starts for the first time. And if you make any change, like a push request, a post request, it will not reflect, it will not be dynamic. So if I hit on this now, notice it has started. So this is the endpoints. I only have my block. So if I follow this link, so follow the link or alt and click as it's showing here, you notice I still have the same endpoint, just like my JSON placeholder showed me. So we'll now switch now. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to copy this URL that is here. So Ctrl C. Okay, before I do that, let me show you the shortcut of doing this. Now this might be too much to remember each time you want to start up your server. Remember, if you close this your VS Code, as you're running npm run dev, you open a new terminal and do your np, so you run all of this. So this can be too much to type, so let me show you a shortcut of doing this. So I'm going to copy this, right click and copy, but of course I'm going to key the terminal again, then I'm going to try this. So let's go to our package.json. So let me show you a shortcut of doing that. So package.json, come to here, my scripts, enter, I'll put db. So it's going to show me that. So let me put db, which is my database. Then in my double quotes, remember I paste that. So just as we run our npm run dev, to come here and run this script. Now this script, just like this one, lives inside our node module. So from this it will locate it in our node modules and run whatever it needs to run to start up your React. So that is the same thing that I want here, only that the instruction for this script does not live inside our node modules. We are writing it directly here, which is possible. So if I save this now, what will happen is if I come here and type npm run db, so it's going to come here. The key exists, so it's going to run the value, so which is like manually typing this thing the way we did the first time. So if I hit enter, it's going to run as normal. So now we still have our endpoint. So if I go to my browser and if I refresh, you see that we still have that. Good. So what I want to do now is this. I want to minimize this, then close this, then let's go to my blog page first. So I'm going to change this, instead of this jsonplaceholder on, which is not allowing us to, I've not copied that. So I need to copy this endpoint. So I do Ctrl C, and I'll paste now, which is good. So I'll not only change it here, so I also need to change it in my details page. So let me do that before I forget. So I'm going to highlight all of this. Now to paste them simultaneously, I'm going to press Ctrl D. So it's going to highlight here and here. So I'm going to do Ctrl V now. So it's going to paste them simultaneously, and I'm going to add a slash here. So that has worked. So if I save this now, our project should be working just like it was working with our JSON placeholder. So if I come back, so I see this. So if I key this now, I see my CSS tricks, HTML tricks. I think I have my title appearing twice. Then I see this. So if I click on this now, you see how to boil rice. I can go back. So let's immediately, now you see that this is 4, no longer 5. So let's go back to our db.json and change the title here. I think this CSS tricks, HTML tricks. So why is it appearing? I think I changed that. So we have our CSS tricks, HTML tricks, okay, CSS tricks. So let's use this one as tailwind. So if I save that now, because we use the -watch, it's going to reflect here dynamically. I think let's switch page, come back to our blog. So you see it has changed towards tailwind tricks. Now let's try the delete and see if that is going to work. Now remember, there are 4 items. So if I click here, I'll see how to boil rice. So let's say I don't like this blog. let me delete it. So I'm going to click here, cancel, nothing works. So this one is just a normal console stuff. So press here, proceed. You see block deleted was successfully, and you notice something is not quite working. It does not get updated. And why is that working like that? Because we are using, no, I think everything was working fine. Okay, we are using a get request instead of a delete, so let's use that. And this doesn't mean that the JSON placeholder on would have worked. So even if you try it with the JSON placeholder on, it will not work. So it will just give you the impression that it's working. So but for now, we know that this one will work. So let's try it again. So I key the terminal, press here, then if I say cancel, that is gone. But if I put delete, proceed, you see block deleted successfully. Now by the time it returns, you notice it has changed to 3. So that is nice. So we are having the feel that this is actually working. So now let's get down to business. Now what I want to do is, I want only when a user is logged in as an admin, before the person can actually see the delete button. Else you should hide this and this, just show only this back button. Okay, so what can we do then? So let's start. So I would like to keep this video as short as possible. So we need to implement so many stuff. So let's get down. So first of all, we want to create a sign up and a login here. So let's do that quickly. So in my components, I want to create a sign up. Then inside here, I want to create the sign up .jsx. So I have my ROAFCE, then I also want my login. So I have my login here, then hit enter. Then inside my login, I'll have my login.jsx. So I have my ROAFCE. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to add this to my nav bar so that we can access this stuff there. So let's go to our nav bar. So our nav. So let me close this so I can have some room. So I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to change this to login, then change this to the login, change this to sign up. I change this to what? Sign up. Okay, so after we do this, now the next thing is to go to our app.js and make sure these routes exist and the component that will load when we visit those routes. So do shift alt, arrow down, Then this is going to be my login. So how you arrange it here does not matter, but just make sure it exists here. So login. So the IntelliSense should show us that it knows about that. So that we have automatic import. Yes. So I've done that. And this is our sign up. Then sign up. So let's wait for IntelliSense again. So that we have our automatic imports. Good. So now if we save, we go back to our browser, we notice we have our login and our sign up. So if I go to my login, I have this page. Go to my sign up, I have this page. So it's showing me invalid route. So let's see why that is so. I think because I've not. So let's save this. Then let's go back to our app. Login, sign up. So let's look at our nav and make sure it's the same thing. Our login and our sign up, I think it's the same thing. So it's now showing the login, the sign up, the login, the sign up. So we want to flesh this out by using the formic to create our login page and our sign up page. So what I will do now is to go to my formic. So go to formic, React. So I'll go to the installation. So just go to the formic build React with this. So go to the get started. So with React, once you just get an average knowledge of JavaScript, all you just need to do is to learn how to use your packages, and you get that. So I want to install this my formic. So I'm going to copy this link, go to my, so I need to bring out my terminal again. So I need to create another one by pressing this plus, because I have two servers now running, the React and my DB. So I have to paste this. Then just to install both of them simultaneously, I have to add another one, space yup. So we'll see that as we go down in the documentation. So I'll hit enter. So I'm installing two packages now, the formic and yup. So let's go back to the documentation. So I want to go to validation, because we've done this before. So validation. So to validate, I need something like this. So you see the yup that we just installed. So I need something like this. I need the first name, the password, and the email. So this looks like what we want. The validation, everything is, and this is the sign up. So just copy everything here, just like so. So I'll copy this, and let's see, we don't need another one again, so let's use that one. So I'll go to my sign up. So this is still installing, so let's give it some seconds and it will be done. Okay, so while it's doing that, okay, it's done. So I can close this. So I'll do my Ctrl A, Ctrl V. Then what I can do now is to change the name of this component to just my sign up, else I want to have that sign up. Okay, so I have that now. So what I need to change here is, here should be the full name. So full name, then here should be the password, then here should be the email. So the email one is already like that. Then the full name should, the minimum amount of words for a full name I think should be up to 5. Okay, then the maximum, I think this is good. Then the password, we want to use our strong password. So you remember, I'll go back to my code and put strong password validation yup. So that will lead me to the Stack Overflow. And I'll look at the one that I like. So just scroll down. So we've already done this before, so I'm just adding it now as part of my application. So I'm going to use this one. So you see the password, minimum 8 characters, must contain this. So I'm going to copy this. Let's go back again. Seems it's running faster. Okay, it didn't load the way it should load, so that's why. Let's scroll up. Okay, it's this one. So I'm going to copy this like this after this string. So I'll do my Ctrl+C. So I'll go to my so from this string I'll copy like this. I'll do Ctrl+V. So I have this strong password stuff. So must contain 8 characters. This must contain lowercase and this. So let's continue with the editing. So this is my sign up. So this will be my full name. This will be my password. So anywhere I see first name, I'll change it to what? I'll change it to full name. So I'll do Ctrl+D, Ctrl+D, and I'll change it to what? Full name. Then this will be my full name. Then anywhere I see this last name, I'll change it to what? Change it to password. Okay, but there's something that we need to add. So why is it throwing this error? I think we changed that here. Password is not spelled correctly here. Okay, so now it should show correctly. So now what we want to do now is we want to add something that looks like a placeholder. So let's add something that looks like a placeholder. So let's add placeholder, then we should have our example. Let's use John Doe. So let's see how this works first, then we'll style it more or arrange it more. So let's go back to our sign up. So if I go back to my login, go back to my sign up, it should load. So let it refresh because we just installed the packages. So again, we have to wait for it to refresh. By the way, let me charge my system. So sign up. So did we save our sign up? So I think we saved that. App JS15. So let's see our app JS15. So I think, let me copy this. There should be a mistake here. Let me paste. Okay, this is showing. Okay, the mistake was this is showing as this method of exporting will destructure the component. So I have to remove this and export it as default so that it will work the way it is working on the app. So export default, then my sign up now. So this will fix that error. So another way that I will fix it was I will come to this add.js, remove this import and import it again. So I think that is more costlier than this one. So I'll go to my browser. Let me try to refresh. Normal reload. So now I have that form. So I have the place that is showing. Then I have this. So you see everything is working fine, and I have this. So the password is required, but notice as I tap the password, I'm seeing it. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to add something that looks like a label to each of them. So let me go to my sign up, add something that looks like a label. So first of all, let me add display shader to all of them. Ctrl C. Then we say this should be alpha. I just use strong password. Then this one will be just use John Doe at. Let's not use this one. Example at gmail.com. Okay, so now I have this. So what I want to do now is for each of these here, I'll add something, add a field set. Then I'll add a label which I will call my full name. Then I'll paste this. Then I think I need to add an ID here. Of full name. So I'm going to add here full name. let's see how this shows. So if I go to my browser, I see this as full name. So if I click here, you notice it gains focus because of that ID. So I also do the same thing for all of them. So I'll cut this out. I'll do Ctrl+X, field set, then label. This should be my password, then password, then I'll paste this. Then of course I don't want to be seeing the password while I'm typing this. I'll put type here, should be password. Okay, so the last one will be the email. Ctrl+X, so do our field set, let me type that again, field set, label, email, and I need to add an ID here, ID, unless it didn't work the way I expected. So this is going to be password, then I'm going to paste this, then to add an ID here, email. So if I do this, I go to my browser, I have something like this. So you see the full name, you see the password, and you see the email. So I think I didn't add this here. This should be the email. So we have this now. Good. So now what we want to do now is we want to actually style this using Tailwind. But notice now as I type my password, it is it is not showing again. So but what if you want the user to see the password? So let's add for this one, so for this one I have to use a div here. So I'll put this, then I'll put this, I'll look for a React icon for an eye. So let's go back to our React icon. So I want to add, so I'm going to add React icons, React icons. I'm going to add I slash, so means the password is not showing. So I'm going to use the I slash and the I. So the I slash I'm going to use, let me use the one that is grayed out already. So let me use this one. So let's notice the one we use, by I slash tin. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to copy this, Ctrl+C, then I'll paste here, Then of course I'm going to do automatic import, remove this and put it back. So that will show that. So if I save this now, I'm going to see this like this. So let me click this and come back. Never. So the sign up now. So I'm not seeing my I/, so let me see why that is so. Okay, needs to refresh. So while it is refreshing, let's look for the normal ion. So just put the I. So look for look for pi, so you can just type it pi I why did it lose focus? Okay, pi I, so let's see. So we'll look at this pi I light. So the one we used before was this, so I'll copy this. So Ctrl C, then let me paste this again. Then I have to move the T and put it back. Then let's wait for the automatic import. So I'll click this. So if we go back to the top now, we are going to notice that we have both of them imported. So if I save now, I will have this. So if I go back to my React, I have this and this. So what I want this to do now, I want it to be in line with this, so that when the user clicks on the I/ here, it will change to show the password. So by default it will be on slash, but when the user click it will change to this on slash, so it will just be toggling that. So first of all, let's do that functionality before we enter styling. So to do that functionality, I need to have a function here, a use state. So we call this toggle, then set toggle to be equal to use state. So I think we need to import use state, yes. Then this should be false by default, so we don't want the I to show. So I need to convert this from, so instead of this bracket now, I need to, this should be this, and I should have, I'll move this up, then I'll now have a return where I'll have this. So that's why it's showing me that. Then all I need to do is to cut this out from this div here, but I will exclude the closing parentheses, and I remove that. Then tab, I'll paste that, so that way we can have this the way we normally have it. So now what I want to do now is I want to add an event listener to this. So I'll add on click. So once the user clicks on this button, which is the thing on, it will to set toggle to the previous, so previous arrow function and not, so they're not previous. So I'm also going to change this to, so I'll do my Ctrl+C, I'll also add it here. But now notice what I want to do now. I'll cut both of them. So I want to conditionally render them. So I'll enter my JavaScript environment. I will say if toggle, so I think let me paste it here and cut them one by one. So if toggle is true, then show my highlight. So this is, then else show the slash, that means when it's false. Okay, so we have that now. So let's see if this works. So you are going to see this slash. So if I click on it, it changes to the next one. So I click, then now if I click on this, notice it is not changing the text. So the text here is not changing. It means we need to use that toggle to change the type of the field we want to show, which is from string, from email to string. So let's go to the, from password to what, to string. So I'm going to cut this out, Ctrl+X, enter here. Then if toggle is true, then it will change to a string of text, else it will show the password, that is if it is false. So now we've implemented that. So I have this, so it's showing now. When I click this, you see it toggles. So that was how we add this. Now there are some packages that just gives you this out of the box, the whole of this, but this is how you can use React to build your own the way you want. So now let's move to the styling part, and the same styling we use for the sign up, the same we use for our login. So that will save us some time. So let's do the styling now. So in the styling, I want to add a class name. Now in this my class name, I want to add, this should be a flex. Then the items should be center. Then justify content should be center. Then the gap should be 3. So let's also look at, excuse me, let's start from here. So let's add a class name, this, so the items should be center. Then we also need to flex the items, and the flex direction should be column. Then the justify content should be center, the gap should be 4, and we want the width to be 50%. I want to add a shadow of LG. So let's see how this looks like. Okay, so we have something like this. Then for this our form, we want the flex direction to be column, so flex to be column. So let's see if it displays nicer. So we have this, then we need this to be at the center, so let's do that. So we need to come here. The margin in the X direction should be auto, then should be rounded, then the padding should be 3 pixel all around. So let's see how that looks like. Nice. Then we want to also add the margin top. So the margin top, let's use 8, so that'll be about 40 pixels. So we have that now. Okay, so we want to now start with the sign up, and that is the H1. So let's do that. So the class name, so the fonts for that should be bold, the text should be, let's use purple, let's use purple this, and the text should be 3XL, that is 30 pixel. Then I think that should do for that. So let's see. Okay, this is the sign up. So now we want this, so we'll now focus on the field set. So this field set, I'm going to add my class names simultaneously to all of them, not here, to here. So just have 3 field set. So space, our class name, then I'm going to have my flex. The flex direction should be column, so flex should be column. Then the item should be start, the justify should be start too, then the gap should be 8 pixel. So let's see how that looks like. So we have something like this, but we want each of these fields to be showing. So we just add just add so I'll just move my cursor down. Okay, so let me add that here. So I'll add my class name here to this field, add my class name to this field, add my class name to this field. So class name, so I want it to have a border of 1 pixel. Okay, let's use 2. Then it should be rounded. And the padding of this in the y direction should be 2. Padding in the x direction should be 4. So let's see how it looks like. So this is how it looks like. So we have the full name, we have the password, and we have the email, and we have the submit button. Good. So what we want to do now is this. I think let's just make this. I think this one is okay. So the next thing I want to do now is we want to make this to come to this part. So let's flex that. Remember, we gave it a div for the styling purpose, so that should be our password. So this is the div here. So I have the class name, and I have flex items, items should be start. Okay, let's use center. Justify should be start. Then the flex direction should be row. Then the gap should be 2. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, good. So we have it here now. So if I toggle this, I have this. Okay, so the last thing I want to do now is to face this our submit button. So we want to style it to look like a button. So I think I have to reduce this margin top because I think it's too big. So let's reduce it to 4. Okay, so we'll come to our form submit here, and by the way, we need our errors to have the same color of red, and the text should be small. So let's do that. And the gap here for our form, we want to reduce that to 2. Okay, so let's do that. So for each of these our errors, so the first one is this, the second one is this, the third one. So where is the third one? Is this. So I have class name to be equal to this. So I just have text, it should be red. Then red, let's use 600. Then the text size, so the text size should be, let's use 10 pixel. So let's see how this looks like for our errors. So you know this how it's looking now. I think that text size is too small, so let's use 12. So you notice how it's looking like. It's looking. So the email is required this. Okay, so let's start the buttons now. So this button, I'll just add a class name. Then I'll have my border of 2. Then I'll have my padding in the y direction should be 2. Then the padding in the x direction should be 4. Then it should be rounded. Then on hover, the BG should be green. Let's see. So it should be green. Okay. Then on hover to the text should be white. So if I do my Alt Z, that will break. Okay, I think. So if I save that and come to my browser, I will see this. So this is how it looks like. Now if we attempt to submit this, you see the form will not agree, so I need to put Amadi. So I think it's too short, so it must be 5 Amadi space Chile. Then my password is showing me that it must contain an uppercase. So let's see what I've typed already. So I can put 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So must contain lowercase. I'll put CC. Must contain uppercase A. So must contain a special character. I'll put the $sign. I mean the and. Then my email, so I put amadechile@gmail.com. So you notice I've entered the right amount of form, or the required amount. So that's why it's showing me this. Okay. Notice that the form is not well aligned because of this, but that will do for now. So what I will do now is to send this, and I get this data here. So that means I can store this in my JSON server. So now that we need to store something in our JSON server, we need to create a resource for that. So let's do that. So I'll come back to my JSON, so my DP here. So I'll create another resource. So users, then this will be an array of objects. Then it should just be empty. So it will be empty for now, so there is no user. So what I'm going to do now, in my sign up page, when a user submits a form that meets the format for which I want, so here that is showing me these values, I have to comment it out. Then just to save some time, I'll come to this my details page, copy a little bit of this ashes. So I will not have to type this again. So I'll do Ctrl C, just a little edit, and we should be good to go. So I've pasted that. So now I'm going to automatically import this unless I'll have some errors. Then I'm going to change this, instead of blocks now, to what? Users, remember. So I'm going to remove from here, should be users. then add my code, of course. Okay, then this is going to be a post request because we want to send data to the backend. So because it's a post request, I need my data. Now, for one thing, when we want to send something like this to the backend, if we don't add an ID to generate an ID for us, so what I can do is just to put my values here, but when we need to get each of those data, we can use the first name or the password or the email. That will not work. So I want the ID to be saved as email, so that should be unique. So what I'm going to do, so that we'll keep our code shorter, so I'll just put my what I'll do here now is let UPD, that is what I want to upload, to be equal to this an object. So I'll have my full name, so full name written as values dot full name, then my email, so my password written as values dot password. Then now my ID, which I want to be unique, will be my values dot email. Now I've played around with this, and this will make our work easier. So instead of me to save email as email, I'm saving it as ID. So then I'll now have to put what UPD here. So this is my post request. So when it is successful, I want to have a toast notification. So I'm going to those 4 steps again. I need to do that. So in my blog details, I'll quickly do that. So I need to copy the whole of this. So to step 1, Ctrl C, I come to my sign up page. So let's do that quickly. Then my step 2, come here, that is step 3. So let's just copy them the way it appears here. So Ctrl C, then so I'll change the text now to signed up successfully, signed up successfully. Or registers, so anyone can go. So let's leave the English for now. Okay, so that is what we show. Then the third step is actually this, or the second step is actually this. So I'll bring that, put it somewhere down in my application, usually the last part. Okay, so I have this now. So what will happen now is when a user, then this redirects, we need to also do that too from the details page, unless we won't get that. So I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C. So this is how to like copy and edit code, you have to do it. You have to understand the code structure, you know what you copy, and once you do that, you don't have an issue. So I'm going to so I've already imported that. So what is left now for us to do is, I think when the post request is successful, it's going to show a constant log of this. So let's do resp.data. Then we will now, what we are now going to do is this. We will now show this notification and redirect to which page. So we want to redirect to the blog page. So /blog. Okay, so that is it for now. But there is something we need to do. The person has to log in, and when the person logs in, we need to save some data, so that we use that to verify if the person is actually a user. So because this is okay, we actually need to keep track of who has logged in. So first of all, let's try to stimulate this login process. So I've saved that. Let's do step by step. So this here will be Amadi Chile. The password here 1234567 cc what? Let me see, what do I need to put? And I put on uppercase a special character, put this, so that has worked. So this is what I typed. Then the email amadichile@gmail.com. So once I put this, you see sign up successfully, and it will take me to the blog page. So now that has worked. So what we want to do next now is this. We want to actually know the email that has signed up, so that in case we need some other information like the first name and the last name, we can get that. So let's use our atom. Then we can now decide, once the user has not logged in, it will be showing this login and sign up. But once the user has logged in, it will only show what it will not show this two again, but it will not show sign out. So the person can sign out. Okay, so let's create the atom. So how many minutes have we spent an hour again. So let's add this. We'll soon finish this, but immediately it is, I think after we finish this atom, I'll cut the video and I'll start it again, so that it doesn't become too long. Okay, so let's do that. So we need to create an atom now. Let's create an atom. So inside here I'll create a folder called atoms. So I already have that folder, so why am I not seeing it? So we have a user called atom. So let's create another one called user.jsx. So just to save myself of some time, I'm going to copy what is on the cart and edit. So Ctrl A, Ctrl C, come to this user here, paste here. Then I will change this to user atom. User atom. Then I'll copy that, Ctrl C, and change it here. Then here now I'm going to have some things here. So this is going to be an object. So the object is logged in. Is logged in. This will be false. Then I'm going to have an object called data. This will be an empty object for now. So this is what we want the user state to be. So if he's logged in, you are going to know. Of course, when the person opens the page, it will be false. So the person have to log in. So we also want to make, when the user sign up to, it should automatically redirect the user. So those are two ways. There are two ways you can do that. Is either when the user logs in, when the user sign up, you direct the person to the login page, or when the user sign up, you automatically log the person up. So we use the one that when you log in, if you sign up, it will take you to the login page, so you log in with your details. So let's save that. So what we want to do now is we want to flesh out our login page. First of all, let us add something here. So in this our login page, in this our sign up page, you're going to add a text here. Don't have an account. Okay, have an account, sign, login, so it will bring out the login page. So let's do that in our sign up page. So we're going to do that here. Going to, that can be a p tag, have an account, then put login. So this text here of login is going to be, it can be a span tag. So Ctrl X, span tag, do this, then on click of this, it's going to take us to, so let me put my anonymous function. It's going to take us to the redirect to where, to the login page. Okay, then I think this is how it will look like. So let's just add a class name of font should be bold, and the text should be 33xl, so that it will be a little bit bolder. Okay, then I just need to add a margin top of 3. So let's see how that looks like. So I have an account login. I think that is too big. So let me use 2xl. Okay, so I think this is okay. So by the time we click this, this should work. So I think let me change this span tag to a button so that the cursor will change. So button. So if I do that, I will have this. So you see it has changed. So if I click this now, it will take me to my login page. So what I need to do now, to do Ctrl A, Ctrl C, go to my login page. I'll do Ctrl A again, Ctrl V to paste. So I'm going to change here to login, so don't forget that. Then I'm going to change here to, so here we don't have an account. So instead of my login @z, I'm going to use sign up. If only I could spell this sign up correctly. So sign up, and here will be what? Will be sign up. Then for our login, we don't need the full name, so I'm going to remove anything that has to do with the full name. So let me remove that. So here's the full name. So the first field set, then the errors. So let's remove anything concerning the full name. Okay, so because I removed that full name, I need to also remove the full name here. Then remove the full name here. So the full name dot values, I need to remove it. Here, and in this login, we are not actually making a post request. We are making a get request. So we don't actually need this line of code, because in the login we want to verify if the user exists in our database. So I'm going to make this as slash, just like we did before, slash. Then I'm going to put this as values dot what, dot email. So that will serve as the ID, remember. Then I'm going to also remove the first name from here. Okay, so I've removed the first name from there. So let's now write the logic for our sign up. So when it actually gets this, we don't want to redirect to the blog page. We want to actually confirm if the user exists first, then before we know what we do. So let's just comment these two out. So let's run it step by step. So let's actually see if we can get the data, that is the email from here. Then there's something that we have not changed. We need to change this heading here to login. So I was looking for it there, login. So let's save that. So if we save that, if I come back to my sign up, I have this. Come back to my login, I think it would load in a little while. I should have that. So let's see why it's not showing up. I think I've only changed it here. Okay, I've not changed it here. So login. So if you forget, you have to not forget. So I've changed that to login, so it should correspond to what is below, so it will not be grayed out again. So let's go back. So let me go back to my sign up, my login, so it will come up in a little while. Blog login, why it's doing this, so let me refresh. Okay, so we now have the login page. So we see that we just have the password and the email. So now let's actually stimulate the login process. Now if you notice, once we go back to our db.json, do we have a login? Yes, we have a login. So email. So I want to delete this, so let's do that again. So I'll save. So let's go back to our page. So let's log in again. So don't have an account, sign up. So let's actually try to sign up. So I have the password here. I think I have to copy that password now and keep, so I can use any password. Let me just use a random one. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 arrow G, then percent. So I'll do Control A, Control C. So I'll now have to be typing that again. So I'll choose this, then I'll attempt now to sign up. So to check if this email exists. So if it exists, it will fetch data, but if it does not exist, it will show you an empty result or an error message. Let's see. So you see, it just shows you an empty array, means that there is nothing there. Okay, so that has worked. So that means that we need to log in first. We need to sign up first. So let's come back here. That will be a get request user/valid.id. So let's toss sign up first. So I'm going to put Amadechile, then I'll paste the password, then Amadechile at gmail.com. So what I will do now is I'm going to submit. So login was not successful, and it took me to my blog page. So that is not what we want. We want it to take you to the login page. So here's our sign up. So forgot that, so we have to repeat the process again. So let me delete this. So this will take me to my login. So I'll save that. So let's log in with another user. So let's log in again. The password still remains the same, the email this, but I'm going to add now. Because of this, I don't think it will be able to log in with the same ID, because you are specifying the ID, so that will not work. So 007, then I'm going to, this is my login. So let's sign up again. Amadechile green, the password, paste the email, Amadechile 007 at gmail.com. So if I submit this, you see login successful, sign up successful, then it's taking me to my login page. Now I just remembered one thing. We have not changed the toast notification, so we change it to login successful, no longer sign up successful. So let's do that before we forget. Okay, I think we've already changed that, so let's use login successful. Is it double L or one L? I think it's like this. So if I save that, so I want to log in now. So I want to log in with my password with my email. So let me use the first one. So let me see what will happen when I attempt to log in now. So you notice it finds everything on my route. So let's see. It finds that I have an ID of this and this, but it was meant to find just only this, not the entire stuff, unless we need to have to look through it in order to make our condition. So let's see why it's not showing just the email that have this, whereas it's not showing everything that have that. So let's see why that is showing like that. I think it's because in this our login, so instead of plus I'm using a comma. So you see, so it's meant to concatenate this. So that's the reason why it's fetching everything that is there. So I think we'll fix that now. So let me sign up again. Let me attempt to log in again. So notice it's getting only this now. So the condition that I want to use now is if it exists. I want to check if, now we have seen that the email exists, which is this ID. So we want to check if the entered password is the same thing with what the person enters here, else we are going to throw an error. Okay, so let's do that. So we are going to, in our login page, you're going to say if reps.data.password is strictly equal to values.password, then the person has entered the correct email and password, so we can log in the person now. So I'll just move this code upward and do that. Then else we want to, you can show a toast notification. So you can have another toast notification here. So instead of using just one, so I can put this as notified to. So shift alt arrow down, I can put this as notified to. Then this will be dot error. So the message is wrong email or password. So you don't tell the person that is the password, put wrong email or password. So if there's an error there, I need to show that as a toast notification. So I'm going to put tab here, notify true. So that is what to show the user. So let's see how that looks like. So let's try with the wrong password. So remember, this looks like this. So let me add a 4, an extra 4. So if I attempt to log in, so I'm using wrong email or what, or password. But now if I remove this extra 4, that means it's not correct. Then let's check first before we do that. We want to direct this out of the blocks. Yes, so that is correct. So if I do that, I'm going to log in, see signed up successfully. But that is meant to not signed up successfully. It's meant to show us login successful. I think we'll change that on here. Change it. So let's see here. login successfully. So let's save that. Then let's look at where we change that login successful before. I think it's here. So let's have a Ctrl Z. So that should be signed up successfully. Okay, so we've done that. So if I log in again, so let me go back and log in again. So my password, I'll paste my email, I'll use this. Now if I do that, see login successfully, and to take me to the page. So now in the next video, what we want to do now is we will now make sure that we'll now start to actually implement what we actually plan to do. So a user will be able to only delete when the person logs in as an admin. Then also implement the sign out and then the update block, and we'll be done. So in the next video we'll do that.